On World News tonight, the critical debate begins. What does President Bush's nominee for the Supreme Court really think about key issues like abortion rights? Democrats promise John Roberts will not get a free pass. The blistering heat wave in so many states, 45 people dead. Electricity use at record highs, millions in search of relief. Scores of young Muslims in Britain who say they're angry at America and empowered by radicalism. A closer look at why people become suicide bombers. And produce goes Big Brother. Do you get annoyed by those little stickers on fruits and vegetables? Sure you do. Well, make way for tattooed fruit.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Reporting tonight, Charles Gibson.
Good evening. Will the president's nominee for the Supreme Court be confirmed? It's early yet, but a day after John Roberts was picked by the president, the consensus in Washington is yes. But will he get a thorough going over by the Senate? Absolutely. Trying to seize early advantage, Judge Roberts was on Capitol Hill today pressing the flesh, and ABC's Linda Douglas is there.
Judge John Roberts was swept from one heady event to the other. First, coffee with the president, who assured him publicly that he will lean on the Senate to confirm him quickly.
In my conversations with senators last night, we discussed how important it is that Judge Roberts get a fair hearing, a timely hearing, and a hearing that will bring great credit to our nation and to the United States Senate.
Then his chaperone, former senator, now TV actor Fred Thompson, brought Roberts to the Senate, where the majority leader was waiting to escort him.
All right, sir. The first official. Thank you, sir.
Inside, Republicans greeted him like a conquering hero.
He is the best of the best legal mind in America.
We intend to have a respectful process here.
And I'm very grateful to the senators for accommodating me and having me over here today.
As formalities unfolded in the Capitol, well-financed interest groups clamored to be heard outside. Conservatives unveiled a pro-Roberts TV ad that will run nationwide.
Colleagues call him brilliant and praise his integrity and fair-mindedness.
Liberal groups protested Roberts' nomination, insisting he will undermine abortion rights. Those and other groups are pressuring Democratic senators to oppose Roberts, but they are treading carefully. They acknowledge he is widely respected and considered brilliant. Some senators are questioning his qualifications, but very gently.
We need to know whether a nominee such as Judge Roberts really is in the mainstream of American values.
No one is entitled to a free pass to a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court.
After that comment, Roberts paid a visit to Senator Leahy, a charm offensive on both sides. He greeted the Democrats' leader with deference.
Appreciate you meeting with me today.
It's my pleasure. I look forward to having some lawyer-to-lawyer talk in the other room.
The Democratic leader praised Roberts' skills and said he's about to argue the most important case of his career here in the Senate. But Charlie, it appears tonight that the prospects of a Democratic filibuster against Roberts are fading.
Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill. The critical question, of course, do senators know exactly where Roberts stands on crucial issues like abortion, civil rights, states' rights? He is generally seen as quite conservative, but even some conservatives today were cautious in their praise. He's relatively new to the federal bench, but he has an extensive legal background. ABC's Kate Snow reports there are a number of important issues which he has ruled on and argued for.
Those trying to define Roberts' views on abortion rights are zeroing in on two pieces of his record. In a legal brief Roberts approved when he worked as a government lawyer under the first President Bush, he argued Roe v. Wade was wrongly decided and should be overruled. But in confirmation hearings in 2003, Judge Roberts was asked to clarify. Roe v. Wade, he replied, is the settled law of the land. There's nothing in my personal views that would prevent me from fully and faithfully applying that precedent.
In 1991, John Roberts was working in the Solicitor General's office advocating a position on behalf of the president he worked for. In 2003, he was a Court of Appeals nominee, expressing the caution you'd expect of somebody in that role.
Bottom line, it's hard to know where he'll come down on abortion cases as a justice, though he is a practicing Catholic. Other fragments from Judge Roberts' record: for more than a decade, Roberts was the go-to lawyer for corporations arguing before the Supreme Court. From mining companies to Fox Television, Chrysler, and Toyota, pro-business conservatives like that past. Conservatives also support rulings he's made as a federal judge involving the war on terror, states' rights and the environment, and search and seizure laws. Publicly, conservatives were praising Roberts today, but privately, some social conservatives worry.
He's someone who is not going to be revolutionary on the Supreme Court, and that's probably something social conservatives might not like. They might want someone who would overturn Roe versus Wade. I don't think Judge Roberts is going to be overturning any great precedents.
Judge Souter will bring to the court a
The unstated fear, what many call the Souter factor. Conservatives were stung when they supported the president's father's choice of David Souter, who later voted to support abortion rights and now regularly sides with the court's most liberal members. Kate Snow, ABC News, Washington.
Washington interest groups today were burning up the internet with their opinions, pro and con, on Roberts. Heat in Washington, the reaction in the rest of the country, far cooler, far calmer, it seems. ABC's Erin Hayes has been sampling the national reaction.
By this morning, folks around the country had had plenty of time to digest the news, and for many, it seemed to satisfy.
From everything I hear, this man seems highly qualified, highly intelligent.
In this Atlanta cafe, some were relieved.
I think it's a great nomination.
Others resigned.
I'm afraid we probably move toward a more conservative court. So we maybe just need to buckle in or fasten our seatbelts and get ready for the ride.
In cities coast to coast.
What do you think of Judge Roberts?
And in little towns in between, Judge Roberts was the topic of some thoughtful conversation.
I'm very worried about environmental protection. I'm very worried about women's right to choose.
I am a conservative. I think, he'll be in there a long time. Probably exhibits the same values that I have, that my community has, and I feel real good about it.
A lot of talk, but not much heat. For many Americans, it seems, the political firestorm long predicted over Supreme Court nominees lost a lot of its steam with the choice of Judge Roberts. Many say they will watch Judge Roberts' confirmation hearings, but add they have little patience for a drawn-out battle over it.
The people throwing rocks at one another back and forth, it's getting old. I mean, we're grown-ups here. We're acting like a bunch of kids.
The last thing many Americans want is another political firefight on Capitol Hill. Erin Hayes, ABC News, Atlanta.
One final note on the nomination. Sandra Day O'Connor, who was at a judicial conference in Washington State today, was asked about the nomination, and readily she said she's disappointed that President Bush didn't choose a woman, but then quickly added that Judge Roberts is a first-rate choice for the job. In Iraq, this was supposed to be a different kind of day, a day to pause and remember the dead. However, the violence did not stop. 9 days after a bomber blew himself up outside an Iraqi army recruiting center, there was another suicide attack at the same location. 25 people died in the previous attack, 10 died today. ABC's Mike Von Frem takes a look at a day in Baghdad.
This war-torn country tried to take 3 minutes of silence today. They stopped to pray for the children killed while receiving candy from U.S. soldiers. The worshippers slaughtered when a fuel truck exploded near a mosque, and the Sunnis killed on their way to draft a new constitution. But this is Baghdad, and the moment of silence was shattered when an Iraqi army recruiting station was once again the target of a suicide bomber. The committee writing a new constitution prayed for the 2 delegates who were assassinated yesterday and buried this afternoon. The remaining Sunnis on the committee say they cannot help write the constitution until security improves. 2 critical oil pipelines were attacked today. They feed power plants that provide electricity for more than 6 million people. As temperatures soared to near 120 degrees, officials announced that they're going to be cutting back on electricity to Baghdad. Instead of planned blackouts lasting for 4 hours, they will now last for 10. They had their 3 minutes of silence today, but they had so much more. Mike Von Frem, ABC News, Baghdad.
Also overseas, in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia today, police have captured the man suspected of throwing the grenade that landed within 100 feet of the president back in May. The suspect seen here the day of the incident was arrested after a gunfight that left one officer in Georgia dead. The grenade was thrown when Mr. Bush gave a speech in Georgia's capital, and the malfunction prevented it from going off. When we return, the road to terror, the forces that transformed 4 young men in Britain into suicide bombers. We'll take a closer look. Feeling the heat, dangerously high temperatures causing so much misery. And big news in the produce section, the end for those annoying little stickers.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Florida Orange Juice.
Hey, a new drink. Ingredients: high fructose corn syrup, inositol, pyridoxine hydrochloride, maltodextrin, glucurono something or other. Of course, my favorite, caffeine. Or Florida Orange Juice. Ingredients: fresh air, rain, sunshine.
A glass of Florida Orange Juice every morning is a natural way to get many of the nutrients you need. Florida Orange Juice. Healthy, pure, and simple.
Not one of these allergy medicines can give you long-lasting seasonal allergy relief without the risk of drowsiness. But Allegra 180 can. For people 12 and over, side effects alone may include headache, cold, or backache. Long-lasting Allegra. The relief goes on.
Here come, dog! Super sausage, baby! Get your barbecue!
Can't stomach anymore?
Oh, Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer is the only medicine that breaks up and dissolves away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
Ice cream?
Alka-Seltzer.
Millions of American families rely on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury cars, trucks, and sport utilities. Right now, Ford Motor Company, America's car company, invites you to join the family and pay the same low prices our employees and their families pay. Introducing the Ford Family Plan. Until August 1st, you'll get our discounts on every Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicle at participating dealerships. No hassles, no gimmicks. From the Ford family to yours, welcome.
With 3,800 students and a staff of 200, Carol is a formidable woman. But she was no match for something smaller than the point of a pencil. It knocked her out so fast she didn't know what hit her. It was a clot. Like Carol, if you've been hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or a certain type of heart attack, what doctors call ACS, chances are you've had a clot. But now, Carol's doctor is helping increase Carol's protection against heart attack and stroke by putting her on Plavix. Plavix, in combination with aspirin and other heart medicines, helps provide greater protection against heart attack and stroke than aspirin and other heart medicines alone by helping keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you shouldn't use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase. To minimize this risk, talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur.
Ask your doctor about Plavix today, because no matter how formidable you are, you're no match for a dangerous clot.
We are going to take a closer look this evening at the forces that transformed 4 seemingly average young men into the suicide bombers who killed 56 people in London. In Britain today, Prime Minister Tony Blair proposed a global conference to attack the root causes of Islamic extremism. Mr. Blair singled out the extremist teachings in some Muslim religious schools. ABC's David Wright traveled to Leeds, England, where the London bombers lived, to take a closer look.
There is no set career path, but there is a slippery slope. Alienation. Reprogramming. Followed, in some cases, by terrorism. ABC News spoke with more than 100 young men in Leeds, where Hussein lived. Nearly all said they would never go to the extremes the bombers did, but say they understood what might have motivated them.
It doesn't help when these Americans and these English are going into our Muslim countries and killing our brothers and sisters. This is what they don't like. It's not nice.
There's a lot of anger over civilian deaths in Iraq and Afghanistan, but many will not speak candidly to outsiders, especially in front of a camera. ABC's Zunaira Zaki conducted her interviews in private in Urdu. Many spoke of jihad, or holy war.
I heard one person say that the jihad is essentially already started. Basically, all of these people were ripe for recruitment. You just needed to get them started.
Many returned to Pakistan, where some Quranic schools, or madrasas, instill a radical view of Islam.
Some of these madrasas encourage their students
to go and fight with the Taliban during the summer holiday.
Others are recruited closer to home.
These people will handpick a few who they think are good enough for the job, and then they'll brainwash these people slowly but surely.
Mostly the younger generation.
The topic today, inshallah, is knowledge.
For years, Britain all but allowed extremists to recruit openly. Groups like Al-Muhajirun, banned in every Muslim country, were free to meet publicly in Britain until late last year. At a recent meeting, one speaker mocked President Bush.
What did he say? He said, you're either with us or you're either with the terrorists. And what did we Muslims say? We said, we're not with you, we're with the terrorists. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
The challenge Britain faces now is how to crack down on terror suspects without further alienating the Muslim community. One of the hardest things for police here, how to know who's just angry and who may be ready to explode. David Wright, ABC News, Leeds.
And tomorrow on this broadcast, an interview with the president of Pakistan about what he's trying to do to counteract terrorism. When we come back, the heat wave, very uncomfortable across much of the country and very dangerous, even deadly, in places from coast to coast.
Yes, Mr. Puppy, there is so much to discover. Like new Beneful Healthy Growth for puppies with crunchy rice, real chicken, and real milk. Even vitamin-rich vegetables. There's extra protein for those growing muscles. Look how big you're getting. And calcium for developing healthy bones and teeth. You just think you're getting spoiled. Life is good. Very good.
New Beneful Healthy Growth for puppies. Another healthful, flavorful Beneful.
We're making choices to keep our cholesterol and blood pressure healthy.
More fish, less red meat.
And a new multivitamin.
One-a-day Cholesterol Plus, the only complete multivitamin with polycosanol and key nutrients to help maintain cholesterol and blood pressure. One-a-day Cholesterol Plus.
Mosquitoes. It's nice back here. Hey, this price for one? Nope, all of them. How about these? Take them. Really?
There's plenty of old ideas for mosquito protection. Here's one that's proven. Off Power Pad Lamp. The secret's the heat-activated Power Pad repellent for protection 15 times greater than a citronella candle.
Hey, how much for... That's not for sale.
Off Power Pad Lamp. Power Pad protection keeps bugs off. S.C. Johnson and Family Company.
I was always going. Having to go in the middle of traffic and just starting and stopping. Having to go in the middle of a ball game and then not being able to go once I got there. And going at night. Going and going. I thought I had a going problem. My doctor said I had a growing problem. It wasn't my bladder. My prostate was growing. I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go, and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
Want to know a secret? Some grown-ups don't eat their vegetables. That's why there's Delicious Ensure. Complete balanced nutrition, vitamins, minerals, food energy. If you don't eat right, eat smart. Ensure nutrition for a healthier you.
Hurricane Emily slammed into northeastern Mexico with 125-mile-an-hour winds this morning. It caused some damage and forced thousands to seek higher ground. In Texas, high winds from Emily's outer bands knocked out power to 13,000 customers and also kicked up waves that thrilled surfers along the Gulf Coast. In so many parts of the country today, people were under a special kind of strain, a kind of strain that only a record heat wave can provide. It was another miserably hot day. 104 in Denver, the highest reading ever for that city in July. And in California, they're still talking about yesterday's high of 129 in Death Valley. And it is true that heat kills. Here's ABC's Miguel Marquez.
Searing temperatures across the nation, a heat wave taking lives and raising concern.
It's unbelievable. Right now I'm so hot I think I'm going to pass out.
In Philadelphia, 8 related heat deaths reported this year. In the West, reports of 15 heat-related deaths. And the Border Patrol says another 22 immigrants have died trying to make the illegal crossing into Arizona. Authorities handing out water, delivering food, and trying to keep those at greatest risk cool. Dr. Dale Carrison sees lots of heat-related emergencies.
Every system in your body, your kidneys, your heart, everything starts to just shut down slowly.
Blame for the heat out west, a massive high-pressure system, keeping cooler ocean winds away. That combined with the jet stream far to the north, keeping airflow across the continent stagnant.
As long as that jet stream stays north, the west will continue to be a furnace.
For 10 days now, Las Vegas has hit temperatures over 105 degrees.
With temperatures up over 110 in Las Vegas, officials here at the airport say some airlines have had to take passengers off flights. It's just been too hot to fly fully loaded planes.
In the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states, power usage is at record numbers as air conditioners up and down the coast are dialed too high.
It's kind of like a blow dryer in your face, you know, when you walk outside.
And just when will the heat wave end? Possibly when moisture from Hurricane Emily moves north later this week. For now, only the setting sun brings relief. Miguel Marquez, ABC News, Las Vegas.
The industry group that rates video games has said today that the hugely popular game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas will be given an adults-only rating. The decision was made after revelations that explicit sexual content is encoded in the game and can be unlocked by downloading a piece of software from the internet. The game's maker says it's working on a new version of the game to eliminate the pornographic content. The actor, James Doohan, has died. He will be remembered by millions of people for the phrase, "Beam me up, Scotty." Mr. Doohan played Scotty, the chief engineer on the Star Trek series.
8 minutes left.
Scotty, I can't change the laws of physics. I've got to have 30 minutes.
James Doohan was Canadian. He said he learned the accent from a fellow soldier, a Scotsman, while serving in World War II. Mr. Doohan was 85 years old. His family plans to send his ashes into space. When we return, the little stickers that can be so hard to remove from fruit. Would you prefer a laser tattoo?
Fishing is my passion since I was his age. My multivitamin, Centrum Silver.
Centrum Silver has a group of essential nutrients that emerging science suggests may help reduce the risk of heart disease. Put your heart into what you love with age-adjusted Centrum Silver.
We all wish for good health, but if you're not taking Caltrate, you may be coming up short.
The same Caltrate shown to help stop bone loss has also been shown in a clinical study to help reduce a major risk factor for colon cancer.
Caltrate, for bone and colon health.
Lunesta, it's finally here. And people all across the nation are discovering it. When will you ask your doctor about Lunesta?
Now make a 3-inch incision between the 4th and 5th abdominal muscles.
Shouldn't you be doing this?
Making important financial decisions on your own doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones prefers meeting clients face-to-face.
I get headaches a lot. Some weeks it's like I get one every day. It was so frustrating. I used to take anything in reach. I knew some medicines caused stomach problems, but my stomach felt fine. And then I found out, even if you don't feel it, aspirin can be damaging to your stomach. So maybe there's some problems going on that you don't even feel. I'm not okay with that.
The pure pain relief of Tylenol works fast on your headaches and is safer on your stomach.
In the future, everyone will protect their eyes from sun damage like they protect their skin. Transitions lenses. They automatically adjust to changing light and block harmful UV rays and glare. So don't wait until tomorrow. The danger is here today, and so is the protection. Ask your eye care professional about Transitions lenses. Transitions. Healthy sight in every light.
Measles is a game you play and then you sing a song. Mumps are something that camels have. Some have 2 months and some have 1.
Chickenpox is a park where chickens have fun.
Most kids today don't have a clue about diseases adults remember, thanks to Merck scientists.
We've invested billions to research heart disease and asthma. Now we're trying to make Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cancer history too. Merck, where patients come first.
What's going on? It's Edie's slow churned light ice cream. Tastes just like regular.
It's the first light ice cream that's as rich and creamy as regular.
How much did we order?
Edie's slow churned light with half the fat. You've been waiting for this.
Coming up on Action 2 News at 6.
What will happen in case of an emergency if the firefighters walk off the job in the towns of Vandenbroek and Kekona? Could they be left without protection? Jason Zimmerman explains.
Action 2 News at 6. Coverage you can count on.
Tomorrow, an ABC News exclusive, Pakistan's President Musharraf speaks out on who's to blame for the London bombings. Plus, shocking news for parents. Pornography embedded in a popular video game. What your child may be exposed to on World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Finally tonight, an end to one of life's little annoyances. Those little labels on fruit that look like they'll come off so easily, but don't, and leave you with apple skin under your fingernail. Annoying indeed. But coming to the fruits and vegetables supermarket section near you is a new method for telling the grocery cashier just what kind of fruit you're buying. ABC's Robert Krulwich tonight with the big news in produce.
We all know this problem. These little labels are hard to remove without
a little skin.
Yeah. You have this problem a lot?
I usually eat the label. Everything goes.
Well, that's one solution. Here's another. Instead of pasting a label onto the fruit, the food industry, with government approval, is starting to use lasers to tattoo fruit instead. So look at this. Here's a tomato. I'm going to slow it down, and there's the label. So here's what you get. Here is a lime, a very little cherry, a tomato, and these perforations are so tiny. How deep do they go?
Oh boy, that's 18 millionths of an inch. That's
not very deep.
No, it's not deep at all.
And does it ever break the skin so germs can get in?
Absolutely not.
But even if it's safe, some say it has a quality.
That's very alien. That's Big Brother.
And yet, says the industry, there are advantages. These days, if you buy a pear at a grocery, there's so many pears at so many prices, the clerk has to know, is this a Bartlett, a d'Anjou, a Red, a Seckel? And clerks can't say stop every time and ask. But with the number code, the cash register automatically identifies and prices each pair. And with this technology, says Greg Droulard, it should be possible to know where any piece of fruit comes from. And for security reasons, one day you could track every place it's been.
Absolutely. You can do that.
Is this a good thing? Well, some say yes.
I like that.
I like the idea. Yeah.
And some...
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
No, I'd prefer the paper. It's more natural.
What's more natural?
Just the label. Paper. Biodegradable.
In your tummy?
Indeed.
Robert Krulwich, right. ABC News, New York.
Building a better tomorrow? I don't know. That is World News Tonight for this Wednesday. I'm Charles Gibson. For Peter Jennings, and for all of us at ABC News, good night.
Only ABC News, honored with 29 Emmy nominations, more than any other network news. And World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, honored with 7, more than any other newscast. No wonder more Americans get their news right here. ABC News.
Thursday, for the first time on TV, Elizabeth Smart's little sister tells Diane Sawyer what happened the night Elizabeth was kidnapped. What did she really see? Then, what did she suddenly remember that saved her sister's life? Don't miss this amazing all-new primetime Thursday.